Welcome to Care Sandwich, the podcast where we dive into the success journeys of law firm owners across the country. I'm Margarita Everline, your host and the founder of Marketing Boss, a fractional chief marketing officer firm for law firms. On this show, we'll explore the challenges, strategies, and victories that have shaped law firms and how they wrap every interaction with care. Because we believe that caring isn't just a value, it's a strategy for success. So grab your favorite sandwich, sit back, and let's dig into a conversation filled with insight, inspiration, and of course, a lot of care. Hello, everyone. I am so excited to introduce you to today's guest, Chef Leigh Marshall. Chef Leigh Marshall is a powerhouse when it comes to helping businesses grow through nutrition. Because here's the deal. How can you care for others if you're not taking care of you? And at the Care Sandwich, we aim to provide law firm owners with tips and resources to help you grow your firm. And this was just such a perfect topic of conversation. And I'm so excited. Chef Leigh, please do tell us about yourself, your background, and how you help businesses like law firms grow by caring for others and starting from taking care of themselves.
Of course. Well, thank you, first of all, for having me on today. I'm super excited to be able to speak with not only you and your audience. I have owned my own company, which is A Spoonful of Health, also known as ASoHLifestyle, for roughly about almost 8 years now. And it really started with my passion for loving and serving others. I went to school and life shifted from being a doctor to wanting to go into nutrition because I really love food and what it can do for a lot of people. And I grew from that space of helping others understand nutrition into chefs. And it opened up a platform for me to be able to help a lot of businesses like where I came from. I started off in corporate America, and I really just started to understand as I was climbing the ladder that I actually had more time, more energy, more finances to be able to help my personal self understand how health and wealth go together in order to make sure that I was sustainable for my job or the company that I worked for to be able to help myself and them grow. And it really just dawned on me, like, this is where I wanted to put a lot of my energy.
What an amazing journey. And as you were talking, I remembered, and I can't remember which philosopher said this, but something about food really being medicine. So it's interesting, like the medical leading to the food, leading to observing the fun byproduct of being healthy, which is more productivity. Chef, I work with a lot of law firms, and I find that the glorified grind is a thing with attorneys, legal culture, and the whole concept of we're going to work all day, work all night, and have alcohol for breakfast and dinner, and maybe chug a flask in between. And it's just this association with the lifestyle, I'm going to say the legal lifestyle, with habits that are maybe not healthy. Talk to us about that. What are your thoughts on that? And what would you say to law firm owners and law firm teams that are living in that space? I mean, even just with the way we do business, networking, it's let's go out for drinks and it's happy hour. And it's not that I'm against alcohol because, Margarita, I love alcohol, but I'm just saying, what are your thoughts? Like, help us unpack that for us.
Honestly, it's a choice. It's a choice that we forget. I understand the hustle and bustle. Granted, I am not a lawyer, but the amount of energy, the amount of work and effort that it really takes to be a lawyer was the same for being a doctor and a nutritionist, right? A lot of times we forget what it was like to be in school, to really buckle down, hone in, and figure out what is going to help us get to the next test or what's going to help us get to the next exam or whatever it is that we have to do. But you were so focused on making sure you got enough sleep in between studying for an exam or doing your homework or trying to get us to move to get some extra energy. We forget about these things because we're so focused on now making the dollar getting the next client, helping someone win something, that we forget about these things. And honestly, that's where I help teams come in and refocus on that. It's a
So
really important thing.
give us a taste, pun intended. If you were coaching me, consulting me, and I told you, Chef, what do I do in that split second where it's 12:30 and
Mhm.
I've got a deadline at 1 o'clock and I've got a choice of skip lunch
Mhm.
and eat maybe at 5
Okay.
or have Doritos or fill in whatever blank because I've only got a small window of 30 minutes. It's already 12:30 and I've got that one. Like, how do I process those choices to make the healthiest choice that's going to lead to
Mhm.
more productivity for me?
First, it starts with planning. You plan for the for the clients that you
But
have to
you
work with,
already knew
right?
you were only going to have 30 minutes. Like,
You already knew this. And even if you didn't, things happen, right? But you still knew that today you had something that was due, even if it got pushed up or pushed back. You already knew that things happen in a split second. So when you wake up or when you start your week on that day that you have off, even if it's just an hour to yourself before you spend with your family, just think about, okay, I have 5 days this week. I know it's going to be a really hectic week. What are some things that I can ask my wife, my partner, my husband, my nanny, my housekeeper, anyone to say, hey, could you make sure these things are in the house, or make sure
right.
I pick up and have them with me, put them in my car. Don't ever take him out the car. Leave him in the office so that way you have something that's always constantly keeping in your mouth. Point intended, right?
Hmm.
So it's really just about making sure you have something. Keeping a piece of fruit, keeping a piece of veggies, keeping nuts, anything around you that's
Right.
healthy, so you can constantly just be popping it instead of saying, oh, I'll wait to eat a real big lunch or a big dinner or a big breakfast
You
when I
have a
have the
cheeseburger.
time. That
Right.
part. Because
Yeah.
really, all you're doing is causing your insulin levels to spike up and go right back down, which is killing your energy levels. And then it makes you have the worst day because you no longer can focus.
Yeah. So walk us through some numbers because, and I'm not talking about the scale, but walk us through some numbers as far as business. What can it mean to a business? Like, share a case study with us if they were to address their law firm culture and nutrition and planning and healthy snacks. Walk us through what that looks like for a business.
Sure. So I've had an opportunity to work with the Penske organization, which is Penske Automotive. So they're house a lot of automotive company or automotive dealerships around the country, especially on the East Coast. And being able to walk into their space and have an assessment with their employees, kind of understanding what it looks like for them to go through their everyday task with the organization, especially within the corporate world, not so much on the dealership level,
Mm,
and understanding what it looks like, telling them, them telling me their highs, their lows, their woes. And then we sit down and we have a group conversation about how can we not only individually change things for them, but we also ask for the corporate headers to be in the room to understand what's going on in the organization from a lower level, right?
okay.
The reason for that is because if they don't understand what their employees are going through, they have no clue how to change the culture. Yeah, taking them on trips or outings to make sure that they feel inclusive and not like just a number is great. But if you don't know that I don't have time to go to the restroom, if you don't know I don't have time to catch a break, if you don't know that I have health issues that are going on that are not allowing me to be at my peak for your organization, then you'll never know these things and how you can ultimately change that culture. So with that particular organization, not only did I have an opportunity to go in and assess it, have a conversation with the individual employees, have a conversation with the headers of the organization, and bring everyone within one space. We wind up seeing an increase in a decrease in call outs. We also wind up seeing more camaraderie. Go ahead.
Call outs meaning people calling out sick.
Correct.
Okay.
We also wind up seeing where people felt more inclusive. They felt like they had more energy within a matter of 6 months. Because I have some really great friends there, they allowed me to come back in and kind of just do a reassessment to figure out how the culture has been changed. They also later on that later on that year, because I believe I went to see them in March of that in 2021. And then later on, I believe it was in like October, November, I went back to see them. They also had implemented different snack changes within the corporate office as well at the Honda. That I was last at. So they started changing out the items that were inside of their vending machines. So that way it made it easier for people to get to something when they forgot anything. They started incorporating where their smokers had 15-minute breaks. They made sure that the rest of their employees had 15-minute breaks to be able to walk around the building,
Mm.
get some extra motivation and exercise, be able to increase their energy levels to keep flowing throughout the course of the day.
Hey there, I hope you're enjoying the conversation and your sandwich as much as we are. I want to take a moment to share a few words about our sponsor, Marketing Boss. If you're a law firm owner looking to supercharge your growth, our team at Marketing Boss is here to help. We've got over a decade of experience and a proven track record, and we specialize in growing law firms like yours with data-driven marketing leadership. So if you own a law firm and you're ready to get a predictable, steady flow of cases from your marketing, let's connect at marketing-boss.com.
That's amazing. And as you were talking, I'm remembering, so at Marketing Boss, we have a program called Connect Convert. And it's not a nutrition program, but something you said resonated with me. So Connect Convert is about creating an environment at law firms where people are connecting authentically with their potential new customers. Because the idea is that you do the advertising, but then what happens when people contact your law firm? How do you treat them? And part of our program includes having a workshop. It's like a team building workshop where we come in and we say, hey, we audited the way you all are performing with, your customer service. And these are the results, and these are the areas where we think we can improve. And then the human aspect comes out in this environment that we create with the workshop. And I remember one of the workshops, one main receptionist who the feedback was she was very short, she would rush through the conversations, and she wasn't really connecting with the potential new customers. And the team was frustrated by that because they were wanting her to do or to complete a more thorough process so that by the time they got the lead, it was easier to sign them up and all of that. She was like an initial gatekeeper. But anyway, long story short is it turned out that, and because we were having that discussion, that she wasn't drinking enough water. She wasn't able to get up and walk around and let her body just circulate. Literally, she was chained to the desk and didn't physically feel good. And when the team became aware that that was an issue, because they weren't aware and she wasn't saying it, they weren't asking, and everybody was just frustrated. And then it became you know what, from now on, when I get myself a glass of water, I'm going to get you a glass of water because you're on that phone with our valued clients and you're not able to do this for yourself. So now I'm going to do it to you. And that for you, and that matches what you're saying about even just having the conversations, whether it's guided with the purpose of the health, right? If you're a law firm owner and you're listening to this, what would happen or what would it look like for you to just ask your team, hey, physically, how are you feeling? Like physically, how is your position feeling for you? Like, are you getting enough movement? Are you getting enough water? Are you getting enough to eat? And just asking might be the start of something awesome. And then, of course, Chef, if somebody wanted to bring you into their organization, walk us through, what does that look like to have a professional like you facilitate the conversations, facilitate the systems to make these improvements that you described, that you make?
Honestly, it's really simple. I love having conversations with people and really figuring out how to help create a healthy atmosphere or their own version of healthy. So the first thing you can always do is follow me on my website at www.a as an apple, s as a Sam, o HWLIFESTYLE, which is ASoHLifestyle.com. And just send me a message. Hey, I heard about what it is that you do, how you help increase revenue and decrease call outs with nutrition based information. And I would love to see what it looks like. I'll come in and I'll have a conversation with you, whether it's virtual or in physical, and really just have an understanding of what it is that you are already seeing that may be a problem and what it is that we can potentially fix in order to make things better in the organization. Then with their permission, I either send out a survey or depending on the how large or small the team is, I have personal conversations with or without a representative. Again, that's up to the organization, and figure out kind of some of the things that are hindering them from being at their peak performance and how we can make sure that it continues to get better. But it's pretty much like a 3 to 4 step process of the assessment, having the conversations, coming back within a group, and then actually implementing whatever it is that we have come to a conclusion that will work for that particular organization and their employees.
And guys, as a reminder, and gals, as a reminder, this can have a positive impact to your bottom line because KPI wise, if people show up more often and they're feeling good more often while they're at work, this is a good thing. This means more productivity. This means more revenue. And, you know, the other thing too that I'm thinking about is in the film industry, they always had snacks. I don't know if you've ever worked in film, but I worked in film for a little while. And now I know, oh, this makes sense. Like, I still remember, like, it was such a big deal to have, like, you know, and not just like junk food, but like, you know, yeah, there were donuts or whatever, but they had really healthy snacks. Like, I remember they would bring juicing. So, like, you could get like a celery juice while you were on the set. And at the time, I thought, oh, they're just doing this so we don't leave. But now,
I mean, if you really think about it, if you're putting raw fruits and vegetables in your body, you are cleansing your body of everything that it has going on. And it's going to obviously instantly make you use the restroom. So you're getting rid of the toxins that are clouding your mind, that are making making you frustrated or decrease your stress levels. Even if you
yeah,
stop and think about how if you drink water, there's no one on earth that doesn't breathe and their stress levels decrease while you're drinking water. There's no one that can say that they don't, even if it's for a split moment. So if you really are just thinking about taking the time to put certain things in your body and taking them in a certain way, it can literally alleviate stress levels that start to help with a lot
wow.
of other things that are going on.
That's amazing. And just to recap a couple of highlights is plan ahead is
Yes.
key.
Yes.
Stick to healthy items in your body. Motion, I also heard that come up several
Yes.
times, is important. So with those three things, you can start making some of these changes right now. And, you know, again, Chef, thank you so much for joining us. Is there anything else that you want to add? I know I did a little bullet point, but did I miss anything that you're like, okay, there's a number 4?
No, literally, my biggest thing is movement, nutrition, and faith is a big thing. Doesn't matter what
Mm.
higher being that you believe in, but being able to implement all three of those things literally help you get through anything. But when it comes to making sure that your employees are at the top of their game, they have the best attitude, and they're ready and willing to show up for you the same way they would want to show up for themselves, it starts with health. And then we just really have to focus on that. And I want to be able to help them focus on that.
I love that. Health followed up by faith. I'm a big believer in that, pun intended. But I do think attitude is everything for sure. I quote this, I don't know where I heard it or read it, but I quote this a lot that every problem is an opportunity in disguise. And that's the attitude that I take and that I recommend that we all take with difficult situations. Why label them difficult? Let's label them opportunities. And you know, it's following up with that attitude. And then if you're feeling good about it, it's easier to do that. I don't know about you, but when I'm sleep deprived, hangry,
I'm
give me
cranky.
a
If I
taco
don't
and then
have,
come give me your problems.
I have a regimen that includes all three of those things. And if I don't do them at the top of every morning, somewhere, somehow throughout the course of the day, I'm cranky.
There may be casualties. Yes, yes, yes. So anyway, well, thank you so much again, Chef Leigh. If you want to find her, you can definitely connect with her on her website, social media, all the things, all the places, and highly recommend that you take advantage of these tips that she shared with us for you, for your law firm. And until next time, we'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, wait, I almost
Yes.
forgot. I almost forgot to ask you an important question.
Yes.
Because this is called the Care Sandwich podcast.
Okay.
So, what is your favorite sandwich? This is the most
Oh
important
my
question
God.
in this interview.
So
And
my
what,
favorite my favorite sandwich will forever and for always be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with jiffy peanut butter. No other kind is acceptable. It is a childhood favorite of mine. It's maybe not the healthiest thing on earth, but it relieves everything that I have going on anytime I'm in my feelings. I loved eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
that's beautiful. Wow. And then we balance it right back with that. Hey, if it makes you happy, eat it. I love it. Okay, for real now. Thank you, Chef Leigh, for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Until next time, we'll see you and tune in for our next episode. It's going to be with another amazing guest. Thank you, Chef Leigh, for joining us today.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Care Sandwich. Remember, the way we care for our clients, our teams, and ourselves can make all the difference in our success. Until next time, keep caring, keep growing, and I'll see you on the next episode of Care Sandwich.